Yes. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Have I got any comments in the chat? Marion, good evening, Marion. Precious, good evening, Precious. Sean, good evening. Good evening. Joe's in. Yes, Kim is in. Kim is in. So first of all, I mean, like every time I stream, sorry, that's my phone. So for a few years, I've streamed to do with the camp and things like that, and they had a bit of bad press off people like the Jewish Chronicle. Obviously, even Somerset Police raided the camp. We've talked about that. So like every time I do a stream, I tweet out and I tag them all in it. Good Law Project, Jewish Chronicle, Simon Fell. Simon Fell was ex MP for Cumbria and Avon Somerset Police. And then I individually go to their pages and post on their pages all the time. We've had things like the Jewish Chronicle saying that they've contacted me for a statement. They never did. I never had an email or any voicemail or anything off anybody trying to contact me for a statement. So I just want to go through. These are the things I do every week. And I'm not saying I have a big Twitter following, but I am definitely watched on social media by some councillors, politicians, Andy Burnham for a start, because I've been a big critic of his, but I've got to meet him in real life and had two online meetings and then a face-to-face meeting with my friend Bernie, who I was supporting. So, so I am watched. So, I always go on about these people and stuff like that. But, it's unapologetic. Up and coming in the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about Alan Murray, everyone's favourite creepy person, Alan Murray. Jackie Lowry's going to get a name. And I got it confirmed tonight that more or less it's come off Jackie Lowry through Alan Murray that Ali, my dead ex-girlfriend's death was caused by me. That's what I'm getting. These are the kind of people we're up against. I don't even know how she died, guys, and she was very ill. She had fibromyalgia. So if anyone knows about them neurological things, she had that. So even I don't know how she died, but this is the kind of thing that these people say. So Alan Murray, welcome to the show. You'll be up next week alongside Jackie Lowry. Horrible, evil woman, Jackie Lowry. Horrible, evil woman, Jackie Lowry. So you'll be alongside them over the next few weeks. That's what you'll be. You'll be alongside them over the next few weeks. And I'm really open, me. I'm really open. No one can say I'm not. Mark Friend, I hope you're watching tonight. Big shout out to Mark Friend, who should be watching. About 3 Christmases ago, Mark come round and took me for a drive round. So he took me to Glastonbury tour, took me to the biggest storm ring in the UK, and it's not like the Glastonbury where everyone goes at that one. It's somewhere else. So like we visited the ancient areas of Somerset, and that was Mark Friend coming out of his way to take me out for the day. And thank you very much, mate. Honestly, and I don't forget my history. Me, I like my history. I don't forget it. I like learning about the areas that we have in the country, and going forward from there. Obviously, the camp had a bad rep when it got raided, but me and Darren, I'll get round to him after. Me and Darren went to the MP general election hustings, and we ended up talking to the councillors after. And I told them about the camp. I said that it cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds, all that police for nothing. And you lot paid it out of your taxes. So aren't you going to say something? So these are the kind of things John does, and I don't make them up. It's if it's not recorded, there's been plenty of witnesses to these kind of things that I'll say and do to support what I believe in. And so these are the kind of things I've done for over a year in tagging all these people and then going onto the personal profiles and tagging, putting my link in all the social media, all the tweets they put up. I do it all the time, guys. And I'm not saying that I am sin, but there's no way that they can not see that. So these are the kind of things I do all the night. So unapologetic, that's what I am. And you know, like the Jewish Chronicle said about Jewish things, the only thing, you know, that I'm gonna say is sort out your illegal and unregistered faith schools. That's what I'm bothered about. The newest totals are looking at like 6,000 children are being taught anti-Western values and anti-white things in school. That's what it is. If you look into any of the mainstream papers, you've got articles on illegal or unregistered faith schools in the UK, and we have a high number in Hackney. So these are kids, you know, young kids going up to like 15, 16. They're being taught in basements, so they're being taught in unhealthy conditions. That a lot of them, as well, in these faith schools, don't even get taught English properly. So they're not in any position to integrate. Yeah, all you white people, you've got to integrate. You've got to integrate. That's what it says everywhere. But then there's other sections of the community who don't have to. And I'm not just going to start on Jews. I'm going to go to the Islamic people in the country. In Oldham, it's well documented that the council allowed areas to be one particular kind of, predominantly one person, which ended up creating ghettos, which ended up to the 2001 Oldham Bradford riots. And I wasn't politically active then. I'm just telling you already proven factual data. So before you start, you know, and this Jewish school thing, I picked up on it, me, in about 2017. And still to this day, guys, it's not been sorted out. There's still articles in the paper saying that, like, it's double the amount, more than double, 6,000 they're saying now, not 1,500 in 2008, 6,000. And I'm just concerned that the children, no matter what faith they are, and they're growing up in the UK in conditions like that, it's just not acceptable. And I've called this out before and been threatened. So I don't care what the Greater Manchester Police, I don't care what she called, that Jewish campaigner woman, I forget her name. Honestly, I fucking call you all out. You hypocrites. You stinking hypocrites. Police, if you're going to visit, make sure you've got fucking concrete evidence. I'm only showing you articles out of dozens and dozens of newspapers. Hold on. I don't want to talk shit without showing you, like, the articles. Unregistered schools, and the councils are giving them funding. BBC. Now, there's this article is repeated in The Guardian and everything else. 2019, now there's 6,000 children not being taught in unhealthy conditions, in basements, being taught shit. Right? So don't come at us for having a camp. Someone might have said something that, like, offends you. Well, be offended, guys. Be offended, Jewish Chronicle. Be offended, Good Law Project. The evidence is there, guys. I don't make things up. I don't give an opinion and make shit up. I'm just showing you the evidence there. The evidence. Just Google it up, please, if you're into Google it up. Now, I'm not saying anything about anything else. I'm just got an issue with things like this and where people don't say anything. But remember, all you white people, you have to abide by the rules. You have to integrate, but other people don't have to integrate. And this is specifically one of them. The issues I've talked about, Oldham, no integration, putting everyone in same area. That's what the Ritchie report said. So I don't make things up. So there you go. So, the media give us a bad rep, don't they? By saying things in certain ways and stuff like that. But, we're going to get to it. But remember, guys, it's unapologetic. I'm not going to apologize to anyone unless I've not been bad enough on the people that I'm supposed to be calling out, right? And don't worry. We've got Glen Saffer, the fake para, coming up. And, I said last week, I said the other week, he probably said that in a spur of the moment, being pushed by the police. I get it, and I could accept it. But then when he starts going on about things and saying there's people been dying at the camp and stuff like that, and we don't help anybody or anything, when I proved we use the reboot course, now that's all dissipated. That now they're starting on really like personal insults. Apparently, there's a big expose on John Lawrence to do with drugs. They must have a picture of me sniffing cocaine off a table or something. They must have something like that. But I mean, some of the people saying it, right, are very questionable themselves. You know what I mean? Darren Edmondson for one of them. So last May we did Bigger Brother, and I got down to the camp. My mum was ill. She went in hospital actually the day after I got down. And the hospital did say it's touch and go. That's what they said. But I didn't believe them because she'd been in hospital before. And Darren was at the camp on a 2-day bender. And he wasn't smoking just dope or drinking just beer. And Dion told him off. And I fucking told him off. You know what I mean? And his excuse was so weak. I'm not going to go into really personal things, but his excuse was really weak, considering I had a ill mum to be thinking about. It's not, there was all my family were here. So it's not like she was on her own. But, I was under the impression that the first couple of days of that week, I might be going back to Oldham, if it come. Yeah, Darren's on... in the camp, and I had to say something to him. So did Dion, and we was really stern with him in the way he said it. And it's only us two who said this, because I've had Darren admit it to me that he's said this. Now he started attacking Joe because he's saying that some social media equipment, an iPad or something, that it's data breaching and it's been broken into. That iPad's got the details on of the account and the amount of money that he's took. But I will show that. A bit later on. I will show that. Let me just stop that screen. I will show that, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Mark Mullen. Good evening, mate. I hope you and Nobby are all right. Very good. Very good, guys. Very good stuff you're doing. I hope they will, Mark, because what I'm saying is like truth. And them are the only things I ever say is like what worries me. And I'm worried about schools and stuff like that. I'm worried about how kids get taught in England, really. And it's anti-white and it's anti-West. And I just don't like it. I really don't. And it should be called out. And like we're not allowed to, though. We're not allowed to say or criticize people. There's been talk in Parliament about blasphemy laws. Imagine that, guys. You know what I mean? Honestly, and that's not Britain. Britain was built on democracy, rule of law, respecting other people. But people come here and don't respect the people who are already here. You couldn't make it up. But anyway, so like, it's getting really personal with Darren. So the iPad is Camp's iPad. It's nothing to do with Darren, and it's got the summit up and the bank thing to do with the Camp fund. And I've seen it already, and he's had £10,000-11,000. There's not much left, or there can't be any left by now. And the figures we're looking at are not recent. They might be a few weeks old or something like that. I don't know, but so and now. It started with personal attacks, and stuff like that. And, you know, like, I'm not going to go deep. He talked to me, but, like, is he telling the truth? All them things he said about his daughter, was he telling the truth about it? I'm, like, beginning to question it now. Yeah, you know, like, I looked after my dying mum. I didn't fucking lie. I didn't not show my mum. My mum would never not shown. I took her on a couple of, like, demos, one in Manchester and one in Rochdale. I took her out all the time. Everyone knew. Lots of people. Jackie Lowry. Ugh! Even she'd met my mum. So that's what I did. Now, I just want to know, Darren, were you telling the truth about your daughter? Everything you're saying, were you telling the truth? Because I just can't believe you, mate. And when I think that you're not telling the truth about your daughter, of all things, your daughter, mate, that is you can't get out of that, mate. That is a crime in a crime. It's the biggest crime. It's the biggest crime. So you better, well, actually, try and message me. You've got my details. You can message me. But am I right there that, like, you didn't tell the truth and you could have been lying about the stuff you said about your daughter? You know, that's all I'm saying. I'm not telling anything else, not telling any other personal stuff you said, but seems to me that you might have been, mate, and it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. It really is unforgivable. It's, you know, what do you think? What do you think? Honestly, guys, what do you think? That's bad. That, and I'm genuinely I'm able to say that because of what he's done. So he's obviously lied. So has he lied about his daughter? It just really seems like the worst thing in the world. I can't believe people will go that low. Darren Edmondson, you've gone that low. I know you have. So I don't know what to make of all the bullshit that you said. Just the people who's following him and still supporting him, you know, like, you've been told he's ripped everyone off. Hang on. Let's see what we've got here. Incoming payments, £11,173.52. Outgoing payments, £10,423.67. That day is this January, February this year. So I can expect there'll be nothing left out of that, guys. I can expect there'll be nothing left. Now, this is off the iPad or whatever it is that was at the camp that he was logged into everything. And he's claiming I have got another post where he's claiming that it says in his data breach. No way, mate. Honestly, even a court of law would have you banged to rights there. Even a court of law would have you banged to rights. But we'll get back to Darren Edmondson in a minute. Let's just get the infamous. We've got a little video to play. We can't forget everyone's favorite fake para.
Hey, look at the buttons, look, I fought for this fucking country, right? I fought for this country. I'm a para. I fought for this country. I can't get back. You're Nazis. My dad fought for this country. I fought for this country. And this is what I'm getting. All right?
Thank you. So it belongs to camp. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. So yeah, so I think they're trying to do an expose on TikTok on me, and you know, I'll congratulate them now if they found anything other than me dropping a feather, because I'm just a dead clean guy. Me, honestly, guys, you just couldn't believe it. You couldn't believe it. The people I've met on this course, there's lots of people, especially people who are around Tommy, are fucking very much more like worse than I could ever be. You know what I mean? And a lot of other people. And I've met these people, you know, and it's what put me off. Threats and things like that. And like, if if you still support that person, then you're not on our side. And one of them people is James Goddard. That's whose little video it is. James is dying to get involved. He's got lots to say about Glen Saffer, Tommy, and Ginger Tony. I'm not going to forget Ginger Tony. And what they did with James, they went and photographed his house and then put his house on social media and told him people where they lived. That's what people we think are so-called patriots did to him. Now, he never did that. He just went on social media and called them out. He's offered Tommy debates. He's offered a lot of them debates, but they never did. He just went on social media and called him out. And for that, he got doxxed like that. And you would think these people are lefties, Black Lives Matter. That's what you would really think. And these are patriots, guys, who've done this. And it's not been done to me, but there's been a lot of pressure on me because, like, I'm James's mate. And let me just tell you about James. I knew James before he were in this, when he started in this, during the time he was in here, and all the time since. And he knows I want to be godfather of Josh, his son. That's what I want to be with James. And I've said it in public. He knows this. I say it every time I talk to him. So, you know, I've talked to James, so we'll get a little bit more going. We did get given some more information, but I can't 100% verify it. But I'm going to get in contact with James, and then we're going to get in contact with Active as well, and we'll see what they have to say about Glen Saffer and some of the people around him. But, you know, I wouldn't have an issue, me, except for I see how these people are now. They bully people. I see how these people are. They're hypocrites. You know what I mean? Really bad hypocrites with drugs and things. I see this, and I just don't like it. I really don't. You know, I've been honest with most people. I don't really have any trauma, but I know people who have had trauma. I know girls who've been involved in child sexual exploitation. I know women who've been beaten by the boyfriends or whatever. I know people who've been attacked by the police. I know people who've been seriously injured off the lefties. I know of people who've been attacked like Nick Wilson and never had any justice because the police never investigated his case because it involved the Pakistani community in Rochdale. And I know all these people, but I've never had any kind of trauma like that. I did get stabbed in Manchester and had to fight off a load of nasty men, but I don't think of that as trauma. But the things that other people have been through, I do know. You know what I mean? And a lot of the patriots just hypocrites. They really are. They'll go after people's families, and then they'll contact people's mums and stuff like that who aren't really involved in the cause. And, you know, it really put me off, a lot of people. And, you know, even some people I know now and who I consider mates are like that. And, you know, I'm sorry if I'm offending you. It's unapologetic night tonight, guys. And I don't give four flying X's, big X's, you know, like that, big X's. Right, no worries, mate. But I'll tell you a bit what upset me was he accused me of something on social media, and it come off Jackie Lowry, and he's gone round saying that about Arlene, and it's unforgivable, I've got to say. But thank you for that. I'll my phone will be on. I'm with Ramo tomorrow. A great supporter of the camp. She broke a leg some weeks ago, so I've been going to hospital, and I'm at her house tomorrow to move a few things around and give her some assistance at home and do a bit of getting stuff into the attic. So that's my job. But I'll watch out for a call tomorrow. I'll watch out. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to forget, Sean. Animal Cruelty, Sarah Baker and James. And we went through their article a few weeks ago, and I'd not seen in the article that they wanted to do like a respite. It just looked like they had a farm. And on the stream, I go, like, oh my God. And I'm dead shocked when I seen what it were. But yeah, they're affiliated with Glen, getting something set up to support veterans. And sorry, it's a big no off me, Joe and Dion, and them kind of people. They're evil as far as I'm concerned. And when I've spent so many years at the camp, and like seeing how the animals at the camp get treated, you know what I mean? And like I can't, I've been there. Like anyone who has an horse, they know what it's like. They know what it's like. You're up early in the morning and you go in bed late at night and stuff like that. And I have got a little story to tell you. So they had some ducks and swans and all that lot. Ducks, I think they were, some swans. And their like paddock was near the middle of the farm. So each, like when the paddock's open, they come out, they go along the field that has a memorial, then they fly down to the sort of like run and jump and skip down to the pond at the bottom. And one night I seen them walk past the bunkhouse, and I'm thinking, right, so they're going in because they go in when it's going light. Then I seen them walking back, and I never thought straight away. But the door to the paddock were locked, so they couldn't get in. So they were making the way back to the pool. It was just so funny. You just couldn't make it up. But anyway, yeah, horrible that things they've done with them animals. Obviously, they haven't got any. They can't really have any history looking after animals. Not like Joe in the farm, where they're all horses. They're all horses. They're all horse masters. And they can't have, and it's wrong. It's horrible. It is horrible. Yes, Craig, good evening. Hope you're all right, my Ashton mate. There've been a few court cases, actually, up. Peter Brown's up for his council tax. He physically refused to pay it, and he's wrote into council and told the police why he's not paying it, and he's up in court. And it's a closed court, and he's pulled him and said, look, you're saying it's closed, but at the beginning of the letter, you're saying I can come. So you've got to make your minds up. So this is all going on in Oldham, and it's in Ashton Courts. But anyway, let's get a bit of direction. So yeah, like, I'm pretty offended that that's what Jackie and Alan have been saying to other people, and it come through. Even Marcus mentioned it to me. So it's quite offensive, you know what I mean? And, like, if I was a lefty, I'd be going to war with them. If I was a lefty, I'd be hunting them down. If I was like a fake patriot, I'd be really going to town and saying snidey things from behind the mask. I don't do anything like that, guys. I'm a real person. And what you hear me saying if I met you for the first time, we met in a pub, whatever you hear me saying in the pub, I'll say in real life, or I've said in real life. I don't start talking differently in the pub because of whatever. I won't start saying derogatory names like the P word or N word. I don't say them things, when I'm out of camera or anything. Whatever I say on camera, I'll say in real life, and whatever I say in real life, I'll say on camera. So there's no difference, but that's the way I roll. So yeah, so Darren Edmondson, you let's get back up. Sorry. Sorry, I'll go through Twitter in a minute, and I'll post some of the links. 13 or 15 times I posted that link to the thing of this video. Let me just get it back up. So yeah, so that's 2nd, 20th of February. Incoming payments by that time, 11,000. Now, I was under the impression before Christmas there were only 4 or 5 grand in that bank. I didn't know there was so much. So this is what we've managed to get into, and these are the details. And it is everything. The other side of this has got the bank details on to do with the pizza. I've checked it all. I've checked it all. It's all there. Yeah, I've checked it all, and we know it's real because, like, obviously, to do with payments to the bank, we know when certain payments come out and all that lot. And even I've got money and made payments to the bank to do with books and stuff like that, and the reboot program. So we know that this is all real, guys. We know this is all real. So that's what we're doing now. He's still claiming that he hadn't done all that, but the newspapers, we know that the newspapers have said that he's been editing stuff. That's what I went through this last week, guys, and I put the article up for a little minute and read out. But the newspapers, Pembrokeshire Herald or whatever it is, know that he's been faking things. But this isn't fake. This is direct off the summit up. All the details are correct, and we can confirm all the payments and everything through all the statements up to that point. So that's what it's done now. You know, if that isn't evidence enough for anyone, I don't know what is. And he hasn't said that he hasn't claimed that he's got that money, and he's whatever. He hasn't claimed that. I don't think I've forgotten anyone. Oh, where's your proof? Well, I don't know. I mean, I think there's an article about that particular thing. I got told some other things, but I haven't confirmed them. But I'm looking to speak to Active Patriot and James Goddard about some other stuff, so we won't forget, and we'll bring up next week as well. But anyway, guys, you know, I just want to do the right thing, me, and I think I am for the most part do the right thing, and I'm into elections, me. That's what I want to do, and I, you know, I'll support the camp as I have done for over 5 years. But leave us alone, guys. Leave us alone. If you're not happy with us, if you're not happy with me, report me to the. If you're not happy with my political party, should I say, report me to the Electoral Commission. That's the only thing you can do. You can't do anything else. You can't attack me any other way. And I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten. And we said that the police would be onto the case to do with threats and all that on TikTok. And yes, the police are onto it. And yes, Big John has today emailed the police involving this case to give a reference to the lads who have been accused. And so I've done that today. So yeah, guys, the police are involved. Like we said, you know, when you start going as far as threatening and claiming people have raped people and stuff like that, when they clearly haven't, and you say things like that, you know, expect the police. I'm running in local elections. There's no gangsters handshake with me. Let me just tell you, there's no gangsters handshake with me. If I feel threatened or I'm under attack or anything, I will go to the police. That's the first place I'll go. And being a local council candidate, confident of getting a council seat, they'll have to do stuff. So they're going to be knocking on your doors. That's what they're going to be doing. Expect it soon, guys. Them door knockings. I'm sure they won't bust your door down at 6 in the morning, but they'll probably be there at 8, 9 o'clock. Chris, knock on your door. Yes, it's PC Barlow. I need to speak to you about you threatening people on social media. Yes. And you know, I'm sure there's some people who'll be, John, what a twat, you're a grass nut. I'm not, guys. I want to be a political candidate. I don't want to be a shady two-faced hypocrite like the people we have in government now. I don't want that. I want to be an honest person who'll speak to in honest ways and tell you his honest opinion. and think logically about things. That's what I want to do. That's why I want to be different than like your general bully, hypocrite politician who will say one thing and do the total opposite. I'll say something and I'll do it. Might not do it straight away, but I certainly will do it. So yes, hopefully, I'm looking forward to knowing that the police have knocked on people's doors. That's what I'm looking forward to. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything about. I know a little bit about what it is, but can't say too much because obviously they're investigating it. I don't want to bias people, but I just want you to know that that's what I suggest. The other people involved didn't want to really do that. They wanted to go back to social media and stuff like that. I'm the one who said, let's go to the police. It involves me, and I'm not taking it off anyone. I've said to the police in the candidate and agent briefing that if anyone bullies or accosts me in the street, I'm going to citizen arrest them and put them on their ass. That's what I said, because I'm not being talked to by a Palestinian supporter telling me to support a war that's nothing to do with me, that's 3,000 miles away. I'm not having anyone telling me that. I'm not having anybody telling me that I have to support the Jewish state in anything, when I think the Jews are the bullies of the Middle East, tell you the truth. No one is telling me these things. I have my own thing. What I think, if you feel offended, then you feel offended. Come on. I want you emailing me. Telling me you're offended. And, if the police knock at my door, what are they going to say? Oh, you're offending someone by repeating what an article by the BBC says online. Never seen it, guys. Never seen it. Oh, right. Dean Scott. Me and Arlene had our troubles. I'm not going to tell anyone that you can't argue with anybody, or, everyone's had a fight with a missus over one thing or another. And, if people say they haven't, then you're lying. You're lying, honestly. And it's not unhealthy. It is a healthy thing to be like this. This is human beings. It's unhealthy when obviously you think to resist with violence or stuff like that. That's unhealthy. We get it. We get it. But it's healthy. And we've had our differences, me and Arlene, falling out. But for people to say stuff like that, I just think it's like way out. And yeah, so I mean, like I said, a lot of the people like involved in the court, they put me off. They put me off. That's why I've done my own thing. That's why I run my own party, and I do my own thing, and I do my own thing at the camp. Thank you for that, Mark. Thank you. But yeah, so bullies. I haven't missed anything. Oh, it's quite lively in the chat. Quite lively in the chat. I don't know who you are, Christine Dawson. Thank you for viewing. Nick Wilson's in the chat. Nick's a lovely lad. And he's had such a unforgivable misjustice against him. He's not gonna. He knows a talk. He's quite talk. So some years ago, he was beaten up by a group of Pakistani youths, and the police never investigated his case. They didn't at the time because tensions were rising in Rochdale because of the Rochdale 9 and child sexual exploitation, and his case was never investigated. So he had a meeting with the Member of Parliament, Paul something or other. And I come to the meeting with him, and we sat down and was there for priority was Nick's health. He's damaged, he's physically damaged, mentally damaged, and everything. He's done the reboot course with us as well, Nick. And I leaned over to MP and said, even though we're here for Nick's health, and I'm not going to forget that the police never investigated this case, Paul. They never investigated it, and you left it. And it was at the time when the child sexual exploitation, I'll give it the MP, me. You know, honestly, Nick will back me up 100%. That's what I said to the Member of Parliament of Rochdale last year when I went to the meeting with Nick. So, you know, if you feel offended, you feel offended, but I only tell the truth, guys. I only told the truth. And, you know, there's more to go on Nick's case. I want to go door to door in the area where it happened to see if we can find any witnesses to it or anything like that. Nick's done all the work himself. He found out police names only through the ambulance people. But the police never even investigated his case, guys. Never even. And these are the kind of injustices that I want to fight for. But anyway, unapologetic. I'm not apologising. If I haven't been tough enough on someone, I haven't been tough enough, but I'm not apologising. Darren's definitely up to shady no good. I have got another couple of slides. Let me just get them up. So yeah, and that's the other side of it. To sum up, it's got his the PTSD camp bank details there, and it's addressed to the camp. But since then, let's see if I can find it. One of them, he's changed the name back to Darren Edmondson, but it's the same bank details. Because the statement's somewhere. Let me just quickly have a look for it. I've definitely seen that. And he's been doing it with his brother, as far as I know, as well. I can't find it, but the up to date like kind of thing we've seen is he's changed the name to Darren Edmondson, and I think the camp address is off it as well. But you know, that's what it's done, guys. It's had us all over, especially Joe and Dion, me as well. Lesson to be learned, but you know, like, we have to vet people, unfortunately. We do. We've got to vet people to make sure they're all right, you know, and good. Too many shady people, you know, and maybe some people are shady. They could get away with it and it's not damaging. But, you know, like, when you get people going around saying stuff like that about someone's ex-girlfriend and all that, it's unforgivable. And I blocked Alan Murray off everything. I don't have him on TikTok, Facebook, or anything since he accused me of doing something which I didn't do. Or he accused me of being somewhere and he sent me 2 different photographs. And I weren't having it. I thought, I don't want to waste my energy on something like that when I've got plenty of other stuff to do. You know what I mean? So I blocked him. I don't have nothing to do with him. Unfortunately, I had to meet him the other month when I was showing young James and Sydney round, and I had the unfortunate thing, the meeting him, but creepy Alan Murray, and I've been given go ahead to tell you a creepy story about him, but I'll tell you that next week. And we won't forget to mention everyone's favourite evil witch, Jackie Lowry, who probably started all this to do with Arlene. That's why Alan Murray's saying it. And, you know, it's unbelievable. And I've never talked like that of anybody. I've never said anything like that. That's how personal they have to be. Personal they have to be. Let me look at the chat. Oh, a bit active, the chat. I don't know these people. Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, right. So obviously you know Jackie Lowry and Alan Murray then. A smackhead. You know, that's, you know, you might say that because might have a drawn face. I am 57, but I still think I'm in pretty good health for anything like that. But oh, the host is a smackhead who beats up women. Thank you, Christine Dawson. And you put it in the chat, so I'm sure there'll be a few people onto your case. Anyway, definitely. But again, name calling and saying stuff like that. You know what I mean? Saying stuff like that. It's why, you know, like, I can't talk with half the fucking patriots who think they're called patriots because they're knobs. Sorry, guys, you're going to get offended. And these are, I'm talking about some of the people I know as well. You're knobs, honestly. You scum. As Trump said, you are scum. And you're not doing nothing for Patriot movement unless you're doing that, voting. I'm running in local elections. I've run in 3 local elections. I'd like to see what you've done. Christine Dawson, invisible person on Facebook or whatever, hiding everything away from everyone. That's what you'd probably do. And the lower life forms as well in the chat. But I hope you're all watching it because we want you to be offended. We want you to be offended, guys. Please be offended. Phone the police. Oh, John Lawrence has said something on his stream. It said something about Jews that's in the BBC, the Guardian, the Express, the Sun, the Mirror. He said something. He's repeated what the media said. Oh, go on. Go and report me then. Go and report me. Anyway, thank you very much. 10 to 9. Thank you for tuning in. I can't see the chat properly. 17th of March. Thank you, Toffee. Thank you. Oh, Christine, give it a rest. Love, give it a rest. Honestly, give it a rest. You know, I'm wondering who you are now. Probably some lackey, Jackie Lowry's, Alan Murray's. No, obviously not. Glen Saffer and all that lot. That's who you're a lackey for. Well, be offended. I'm glad. I hope Glen's offended. I hope the Bakers are offended. I hope Alan Murray's offended. I hope Jackie Lowry's offended. And anyone else who knows them. If you think they're all right, I hope you're fucking offended as well. Right? And it's not going to stop. We'll do next week Alan Murray and Jackie Lowry for a start. And we'll probably do another Glen Saffer and Darren Edmondson has made that many F's up. I'm sure he'll be guesting on. But this is Wednesday Night Live, guys, and I'm unapologetic. I hope I've been bad enough, pretty bad enough. I hope I have. Look at that, guys, £11,000. And, you know, like, we did a year of streams, and I shouted for all that, and it's all gone. Me, I shouted for that. I was a major shouter to get money into that bank account. It was me. Me, not Darren, not Joe and Dion on streams. It was me. I was always shouting. And I'm sorry, but like, we did the Spectrum course, which cost money. So it was more than that. Well, no, yeah, £11,000. The Spectrum course came out of that. But I can just imagine how many courses we could have done, 2 or 3 of them Spectrum courses, and that was a deep course. What I'll do next week, I'll tell you Mike's story. I'll tell you about Mike and how Joe and Dion helped Mike all the way through his troubles. But the Spectrum course, I can imagine how many of them we could have done with that money, supporting veterans with major issues. You know what I mean? And even some who've gone off the rails could have been helped and supported. But, you know, ugh. But anyway, it's unapologetic, guys. It's very unapologetic. I need a mod. I do need a mod, don't I? I do need a mod. I'm not really bothered whatever they want to set, but, you know, like, I do need some mods. I'll set some up. I'll set some up. Message me. I'll get in contact with me. And George Racing, is Christine related to Ginger Tony? Oh, I wonder if she is. So I'll get some mods sorted out. I know a few people who've been on tonight, and I'll look and I'll get you modded up and all that lot. I'm not really too bothered about the whatever they want to say. Obviously, it's just words. No, there's never ever going to be any proof of anything or anything like that. You know, it's just words, and that's what they've got to say. That's all they can say. No wonder James calls them Tommy Tards. No wonder he calls them that name. And it's very fitting when you think about it, because, like, most of them must be retarded. He's right, James Goddard is right, I have to say. I don't always agree with him, but there's got to be some kind of agreement there. But I'll get in contact with James. Maybe I'll do something with James, and definitely we'll get Leggett on again. And I've got to be speaking with Nobby tomorrow about Alan Murray, and I can imagine what he's going to say, that something's been repeated. But, you know, this is what I get off people. Not a lot of people will tell me really to my face. It does make me a little bit angry, but, you know, the sooner I find out, the sooner I can block them and don't have to deal with them ever again. And it's as simple as that. And I won't be adding Alan Murray after any apologies or I won't be doing it. Once you're off that list, you're staying off that list. This is John Lawrence. Be offended. I hope you're offended. Jewish Chronicle, Simon Fell. Oh, Simon Fell MP. So he said the camp should be investigated again. So are you going to suit up the £1 million that cost to investigate it when we had no further action after 3 years, Simon Fell? What I will be worried about, Simon Fell, Cumbria, Member of Parliament, is rape gangs going on in Cumbria. There's been cases where girls have been trafficked to Cumbria and from Cumbria. And even though the Justice for Ellie thing went on, you still not addressed the rape gangs up there. But you're a former Member of Parliament now, so you're not even worth it. You're just on, like, the normal level. But yeah, so when you're ready to investigate, make sure you get your own bloody money out to pay Avon Somerset Police for £1 million operation. I've said that hundreds of times on social media. I've repeated it. I've tagged Avon Somerset Police, Jewish Chronicle, Simon Fell, Good Law Project. I've tagged them in it. Hundreds and hundreds of tweets over the past year. And I don't get any response because the weak hypocritic groups and stuff like that. Be offended. Good night.